All right. Sitting in front of me, I have 3 Mountain Dews, right? We got a new 36-pack of Mountain Dew today before doing this episode. But however, I only refrigerated 2 of them. So one of these is approximately 70 degrees, and the other 2 are refrigerator temperature. So I'm going to let you guys decide which one you want to drink. I'll let you go first, Maddy.
Rude.
Can I feel it?
No, what? Are you stupid? That's the whole point.
You didn't say.
The whole point is that you have to randomly guess and one person gets stuck with the hot one.
You did not say. You didn't.
No.
Okay, fine.
The whole
okay,
meme is that
fine.
you...
Okay.
Choose 1, 2, or 3.
No!
Get fucked.
You're an ass. Oh my god, it's actually so warm. Wait, there's not like another refrigerated one?
No.
Dude!
I got a bunch of more warm ones. No! I thought you were gonna fucking dump it on me.
Shotgun it.
You thought it was gonna like explode.
I can't drink this.
Why not?
Because it's so warm. Have you felt it?
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, I had a hot Red Bull the other day that was in my car.
You know,
It was probably a good 85 degrees.
You know what I feel like is always hot when you drink it? Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I feel like every single time I drink Coca-Cola, it's like, ugh.
I can't relate to that.
What the fuck was that? You just spit everywhere. It wasn't even that funny.
I can't relate to that. This is warm as hell, though.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
spit
that was
everywhere.
too bad you picked the wrong one.
I
You
literally
even
picked-
felt them, and then
I
you...
know. No, I actually didn't feel the top. I only felt like the top, but they all feel the same.
I guess.
I was like, I grabbed it and I was like, no.
You really took the L on that part.
I did.
Have fun drinking a warm Mountain Dew for the rest
I'll
of the
chug
thing.
it.
Dude, one time I had a sleepover in like 7th grade. This is one of the most classic stories of all time in my friendship with Jack Dunn. But I had a birthday party sleepover in 7th grade, and I asked the boys what kind of a pop they wanted, and Jack Dunn everybody was like, I don't care, just get whatever you want. And Jack Dunn was like, get root beer, but make sure that you like refrigerate it first, because I'm not going to drink any warm root beer. And it was like, he was so specific about it. I wish I screenshot it. And there was literally like, and he was like, make sure you get pizza from Pizza Hut. And like everybody else was like, yeah, just do whatever. Just do
Where
whatever
was
you
my
want.
invite? Thanks.
didn't-
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
It's fine.
okay.
I didn't get invited to your 7th grade birthday party, Maddy.
Didn't have a birthday party myself. I don't have birthday parties.
Oh.
So.
I guess I was kind of behind the times. I didn't know what people did when I came to the school. So I just...
When did you come to school?
6th grade.
What?
Some
Yeah.
people still did birthday
If
parties.
I'm
Or they just
being
like hung out with
completely
their
honest,
friends.
I thought you were at our school this whole entire
Oh, that's what it seems like. Just because I blended in. No, I'm just kidding.
You came in 6th grade. I never heard about you coming.
That's because nobody knew each other even until 6th grade, basically, anyways, because...
I still don't
Every-
know half the people
yeah.
in their grade.
Yeah, honestly, I see new people every day.
Yeah.
I like hear about a new person. every
Everybody...
day.
Yeah, and then
I
everybody
thought-
clowns on me. Abby clowns on me more than anybody for being like, how do you not know that person? Like, I've never talked to them before.
That's me
She's like,
all the time.
How do you not... Like, he's just one of the most popular people in the whole school. It's like, yeah, but I've never talked to him before. I've never
Give
seen him
an
before.
example.
Shit,
you can't.
No, I can't say that.
God
You really
damn it.
caught me off guard there, because... Say someone who you don't know the name of.
I'm testing
What
you.
the
I'm
fuck?
testing you.
Oh, yeah. We should bring back the thing that we did in the first 2 well, we're going to do the first episode, then I didn't think of the idea until the second episode. And then so what we did was whenever we say something that requires a bleep, you have to give you have to give a quarter to every other person that was on the
Yeah.
podcast, right?
Oh my
So
God,
me,
no.
Carl, and
Dude, I
Jack
have
did
so
that.
many quarters.
Me, Carl, and Jack did that.
I remember
Worked
that.
out well. Was really funny. Episode 3, we get John. We were like, John, sorry,
Oh,
you owe me
yeah.
$1.50 at Taco Tuesday. He's like, I'm not paying shit, and he was literally like, he ruined it. Like that would have been every episode we would have done that, but we never did it. And I found out that it's a good thing too, because the episode directly after that we had Jaffe on it.
Your cat.
What? Where?
Your cat.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's scary. Yeah,
He scared that, or she scared the
He.
shit out of me.
One time, our...
Wait, can I finish my story?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry, I
so
that cat really
Jaffe
got
would
me.
have owed a total of like $10.30 or
No.
50 cents just from bleeps on one episode.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. Oh my god, the one episode I was on when I was talking about my sugar daddy.
Yeah.
I remember
Well,
when I said
you're maybe about to be sugar
my
daddy.
like he asked me, but I remember you were like, wait, where is he from? And I literally just said it out loud.
Yeah, the restaurant.
Yeah.
The restaurant.
What do you mean? Arnie was the worst.
Yeah,
on that
Arnie
episode.
was the worst.
Arnie was clowning on me because Arnie was like, he wasn't clowning on me. He was like, Lucas, how about for your podcast next time you like don't tell someone you're filming it, so then you have just a more genuine conversation. And it's like, first of all, I don't think that's legal. Second of all, you know how much people just from our school, when someone, unless they know we're doing the podcast, people just talk shit. And
yeah, that's true.
And
he means like just like started out of nowhere.
Yeah,
don't tell people.
Like just be recording the entire time secretly. And I'm like, can you imagine how fucked that'd be? Like, I'm just driving in the car and be like, guess what? You're on episode 41 of the Be Quiet podcast. And they're like, are you serious? No, fuck off.
No, people would.
They're like, wait, delete the whole thing.
You wouldn't have anything. You wouldn't be able to use anything because people just talk.
Right. And then I was like, also, it's not that. Like, all the other episodes are just fine. It's just that one particular episode just sucked with Arnie on it. And you on it. Well, it wasn't that bad.
On it.
Yeah,
it wasn't
the
bad.
Zoom. The early Zoom ones did suck. Plus, Arnie's internet wasn't working very well.
Yeah,
his speakers weren't working.
He's...
What's so funny?
He said that he had his like computer up to his ear.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that good. That was like one of the earlier ones we did over Zoom. And so it just didn't work out that well. But now that we're in person again, it should be maybe we'll have Arnie on again, but
you should get
he's on 20 episode suspension, so
why?
Because he didn't post it on his story.
Oh shoot, I have to post this on my story. Just kidding.
You did it last time.
I'm kidding.
Otherwise you wouldn't be. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
At this point I would be I'm in no position to be like, oh no, you can't come on, because it's like
all right, then I'm not posting it.
It's always at the last second, please be on. No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm not gonna post it, so I'm just kidding.
You're not gonna be on until episode 61.
I probably will. I probably wouldn't even be on that until then either. You're not gonna invite me until 61.
61?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes.
It's not like I would. Whatever. I don't know what you even are talking about.
I got invited last time, and then he was like, "Never mind."
What do you mean?
Like a few months ago, you were like, "Hey." And then I responded like 20 minutes later.
Oh yeah, that's because at the very last second, it's always just like me going through like, okay, who would be good? Okay, Annika. Okay, well that's what she's doing. And then by the time that she respond, I already got the 3 people. I'm like, oh, okay, we got the episode. And then Annika's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, never mind, I don't need you anymore. I don't need to talk to you.
I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
I feel like a dick all the time because everybody's like. My mom was like, "How you just tell people that they're the backup?" I'm like, "Oh, for sure, yeah. Everybody knows that they're the backup."
I didn't really care.
Everybody since since like 26 has been a backup.
Yeah.
I told not really. I think I said in the last episode that only 2 episodes from the entire season have been planned from the beginning of the week that I knew that I was going to do them, and then all the people that were going to be on actually showed up and did it, and those 2 episodes were the one with my mom and the one with my dad.
Oh, well, that honestly makes sense.
Some people,
because a lot of people like you'll say something in the beginning of the week, and they'll forget about it, and they'll make plans, and they'll be like, "Oh, sorry."
Right. Well, now the thing is, what's been happening lately is people will be like, "Oh, I'll do it next week," but since I have so many people that I ask, next week is always just like. So up in the air with everybody. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Like, the same thing will happen next week too. Like my person who I was going to do it this week was Ryan Lester, and he couldn't do because he was taking the ACT. But yeah. So then he asked a bunch of his friends, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I could do it next week." But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I should just plan it in before I
think you should have Alex, Marcus, and then I can't say his name because he hasn't been on. Should I just say it?
Yeah.
And Logan.
Oh, I'd have McGrath on.
You should have them 3. That would be an episode. Riot. That would be like the most chaotic.
Would it be? I don't know. I don't know if you've listened to the Tommy Jensen episode.
Okay. Oh yeah, but like that would be a good one.
We'll see. Marcus was one of the people from the beginning of me being friends with him that I always had to like him and Carter. I would always I used to have this giant yoga ball down here, but ever since I became friends with them, I hit it. Because they just throw it around. Like, they would literally be so close to breaking shit. One time I had Sandquist over, and I had a picture frame, and Sandquist broke it. From, like, throwing shit at it. So no.
You gotta expect that, though, when you have people over.
It's Sandy.
Right. Well, when it's Sandquist, Carter, and Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Kira's house.
Oh,
the dustpan, the dog bowl, and the mirror.
In the mirror.
And the damn plant outside. Did you hear?
I didn't know
about that.
The plant.
Oh my god, dirt everywhere.
That's hilarious.
What happened with the plant?
Arnie freaking stepped in the plant.
He stepped in
the plant, like his foot smushed into the dirt, and it just fell. And then another person tipped a table.
Oh yeah, they threw the table.
Why?
I think Marcus threw it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, Anna did? Oh.
Can I say her?
I don't
don't give a crap.
You can say first names. You can give first names.
Oh, yeah.
Anna, she had the bright idea. She told me, she's like, I don't know, I just wanted to flip the table. So she flipped the table.
She wanted to stand on it, and then someone was like, don't stand on it. And then she was like, okay. And then she flipped it.
I don't know. I was like on the other side. Like, I was just like watching. And all of a sudden, she just grabs it and flips it. And I'm like, Anna, what are you doing?
No, I think I saw it happen too. I was like, oh.
When I went to when I went to Kira's house that one time, and Anna was there, I think I've never seen her before, and I haven't seen her since, to be honest with you. But she was like, "Are you the one who has the podcast?" And I'm like, "Oh God." I didn't really talk to her that much after that. No,
that night,
that was pretty funny.
Was going shit until Annika showed up and Lukas, until you two showed up.
Yeah, we saved it.
Yeah,
you literally saved our asses.
All right. Anyways, we got some topics that we have selected that we can talk about. For example, Maddy.
Don't say it how you're gonna say it.
Nope, I'm not gonna say it. Let's just say that I have something written down on here as a shortened way to for me to remember what the story is. But it would be bad if I said it out loud. So how about this? Maddy, can you tell me about how you broke your finger?
Oh yeah, I was a little kid. This is going to be such a short story.
Yeah, because I said, any of you guys break any bones or anything? And Annika and I were just like, no. And then Maddy goes, oh yeah, I did this. Told the entire story in like 2 seconds. I'm like, wow, you could have said that on the podcast.
Okay, well, I was on a trampoline, and I was doing tricks. And then I don't know what really happened. I think I blacked out when it happened. But somehow my finger, like, I broke my finger for sure because it was, like, crossed over my middle finger. It was my ring finger.
Okay.
And it got crossed over, like, my middle finger, and I couldn't move it. So then, like, I moved it back. And it hurt like a bitch. And then I used a popsicle stick as, like, a splint. And I didn't tell anyone about it. And it healed.
It just healed?
I mean, does it look okay?
Yeah, I like how you tried to like stick up your
I
ring finger by yourself.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, I know, but it's just like it's really hard to hold up only your ring finger without holding back all your other fingers.
But yeah.
Have you ever done that, Annika, where like you do something really bad and you don't tell anybody for a really long time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just thought of something. Okay.
Well, I have another story about my finger, and then I have a different one about something that happened.
Okay.
That I didn't tell anyone about.
Okay, tell the finger story.
This warm Mountain Dew is so good.
I forgot about it's good?
No.
What do you mean, no?
She was joking.
She said it pretty seriously. She just gave the death stare.
No, okay, one time, you can still kind of see it. I was in probably like 3rd grade, and I went to the grocery store with my mom, and I was hopping out of the back seat, and I went to like shut the door with my hand, but then my hand got stuck in front of the door, and the door slammed in on my finger, and my mom locked the car door. She was walking in without me, and then I had to scream at her, and I was like, Mom, get us.
You were like crying?
No, yeah, I was like bawling my eyes out. And she was like, oh my god, what happened? And I was like, my finger's stuck and the door's locked. And then she was like, she couldn't get her keys out of her purse.
She's like freaking out.
Fuck.
Everything out of her purse.
And then, so it took her like maybe like 15 seconds to get her keys out of her purse to open the door. And then I opened the door and my finger was just like indented. Like, it just like, it just went in. And then I was like screaming. And this lady who had just walked out of the store had like just bought like a thing of paper towels. And then she was like, oh my God, come over here. And she like ripped open her paper towels and grabbed some snow and put it in the paper towel. But then my mom still had a grocery shop. So I was in like 3rd grade, so I had to go with her. So I was walking around the store with paper towel and snow on my finger, just crying.
That lady came
Well, my mom was shocked.
How coincidental.
Nice.
But you can still kind of see it. It's like this like line. It's like
Yeah,
It
okay,
has
sure.
scarred you?
Yeah.
Or you're, oh my God. Ow.
And it's just like a red line across my finger.
Okay, mine's not like that. Mine's like I ruined like my whole entire closet.
What do you mean you ruined your whole entire closet?
I was like, I want to say like
What
6
story
or
is this?
something.
This is one that she
I
didn't
won't
tell
call
her
it the
parents about.
bleach story. I don't even know if it was bleach, but you know, like the OxyClean stuff, like in
Yeah.
the spray bottle.
Oh,
Well, like
yeah.
I got a hold of
Was
that.
it like the stuff you used to clean pee off the ground, or
Something I
like
don't know.
like
it's probably
the
like
spray, like
bleach.
the
stain
it
remover
was like
shit?
bleach.
Okay.
It was
spray
bleach. It was like a
Okay.
spray of bleach, but it was like the OxyClean. I just remember it was red. The bottle was red.
Oh, it's
And
probably like
I
Scott
gotta-
something. My mom said.
Was
I
Billy
went.
Mays on the box?
That's the guy for OxyClean.
So I
right?
got
That's exactly,
a hold of
that's
the
the
bottle.
fucking joke.
Yeah,
She's
but-
talking about
and-
OxyClean.
Right, but if it's red, then it's not OxyClean.
It's like the Walmart
All right,
OxyClean.
let me
It's
tell
blue.
my. I'm sitting here waiting for you guys. So I got a hold of it, and I went into like my closet, and me and my sister shared clothes because we shared a room.
Right.
So we like had a closet to share. It's a big ass bug. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
That's outside though.
I know. So I don't know why I was like, oh my God, it's like perfume.
Uh-huh.
So I went to our closet, sprayed it on every clothes, like everything.
No.
And I was at that age where I think I was like 6 and my sister was like 4, so she could walk and like do shit.
Uh-huh.
So then the next day,
She couldn't walk.
no, she
She
could
could.
walk. So like,
Oh.
so the next day, my mom like came into our room and was like, okay, let's pick out our outfit. And she's like going through her clothes, and you can just see like the bleach, just like the spray, like the
Oh,
bleach.
no.
It had bleached
Oh.
our
Oh my
clothes.
God.
And then she's like, what happened to your clothes? And I blamed it on my sister. I was like, Lily had that bottle, and she was like
Oh
spraying
my
it.
God.
And like my sister, she didn't really talk because I talked for her,
Uh-huh.
of course. So
Right.
she had no idea what was going on. So, and my mom didn't even question it. She was like, but like it was kind of good because the next day we got to go shopping. So like,
Right.
You got all new
but
clothes.
I ruined my whole entire the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if my sister still know, like if she knows like
Oh.
I did that.
Yeah, no. I had the exact same thing happen one time where I told the story on the podcast with my mom and my sister where there was a railing of my staircase and I was like hanging from it and it fucking fell completely, like it ripped off the wall. And I was like, my mom was like, what happened? And I'm like, Chloe was on the railing and it fell. And she was sitting there just like, wasn't like saying anything. And then I just never told them that until just on the podcast. So it was maybe like 10 years after it happened. But then
Oh my God.
another thing that was happening was one time me and my uncle Jeff and my cousin Cade, we went ice fishing, which, you know me, a big fisherman. But we had this tiny little tent and everything. We were like fishing. We're on like, you know, the lake where you like drill the hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Ice fishing. And didn't catch a single thing the entire time. It was really boring.
Oh, that's so cool.
The second time we went ice fishing, it was really fun. But this was the first time. And I was walking, like we were just about to leave. And I felt my entire, like left or right, one of my entire legs fell into a hole. Like all the way. And I was just like, and I pulled my whole leg out. And I didn't tell anybody at all.
Did they not see that it was like soaking wet?
No, because I was wearing black snow pants, so it just looked like it was black. And so then, for whatever reason, my dad, when I got home, I didn't tell them. They didn't know. And I just was like, oh, I don't know why I didn't tell anybody. Like it wasn't. I was gonna get in trouble or anything. I didn't do anything wrong. But I was just like, oh, I just fell in the thing, and I just didn't say a single thing, and it was just freezing. And so my dad, for whatever reason, he was like grabbing my boots, and he put his, and my boots are just sitting there, and I'm like, and I remember him putting his hand in the one boot. I'm like, what is he doing? Testing to see if it's wet. He's never done this before, but it's not like he felt like the outside of the wet boot and then put his hand in it to see if it was wet. But he put his hand in the dry boot for whatever reason. And then he put his hand in the wet boot. He's like, why is it so wet? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I told him, I'm like, he's like, why didn't you tell Jeff? He probably could have got you like a towel or something. You probably were freezing. And I'm like, eh. But
it's okay. Just one like a hypothetical.
Point is, okay. For the next for recess, we put like a Walmart bag in the boot to try to like dry it up or to like put it in so it wasn't all wet because it was still wet. He put that boot through the dryer like 4 times and it never was dried. Really? It was like permanently wet. I don't know what happened. And so we just bought new boots, but I just fucked up those boots.
I just like picture you like say I'm far away and I can see you walking and then all of a sudden just see like one of your legs just go down
like, oh, fuck.
Like into the water.
Could you imagine if I fell through and then like the whole ice cracked and I just drowned and I didn't tell anybody?
Oh my
god. I just am completely submerged and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah,
I don't want to get in trouble.
Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
I get
so
my
funny.
leg gets fucking this like the cold.
Hypothermia?
No, like
frostbite.
Frostbite, yeah. Yeah. I forgot what it was called. But then the other time when that happened was in kindergarten. There was some kid on the bus who was like the class clown kind of, and he put a piece of popcorn in his nose.
I just remembered the story.
He put a piece of popcorn in his nose, so I thought I could recreate this comedy. So in there is in the playground there are these pea rocks, right? Where
oh my God.
one time as a joke I filled my hat with pea rocks, like these little rocks. So there's not sand, but there's like these tiny little rocks so you can fall in it. Yeah.
You can fall in it, it would like hurt.
Yeah. They're like really, really small. They're way smaller than pebbles. But there would be so I filled my hat with them one time, and I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do with these rocks. So I just brought it to the line where we would line up after recess was over. And then she was like, okay, this grade can go in. And I'm like, oh, shit. So then I just ran back to the playground and dumped out my hat. And then I ran back and nobody even asked me a question. And I was like, oh, whatever. I thought I was going to get in trouble for that.
That was such a cool story.
No, that's not the story. This is just talking about the pea rocks.
That's
so
we
basically the pea rocks would like get stuck in your shoes and shit. And there was one time when we were watching this movie in kindergarten, and there were like rocks all over the ground because we just got back from recess, and I put the rock in my nose and was like trying to tell someone about it. And I'm like, now time to get the rock out. And I tried to grab it and I missed, and I pushed it a little bit in my nose, and I'm like, oh shit, hold on. So I grabbed it again and I missed again, and I ended up pushing it so far that my finger was not long enough to reach it. And so
don't you dare spit at me.
I don't think I've told anybody this story ever since that has happened. But my nose started bleeding and I didn't know. And my teacher was like, did you just have a rock up your nose? And or she's like, why is your nose bleeding? I'm like, it's not.
It's not.
I couldn't feel it was bleeding. I'm like, no, it's not. And he's like, did you put something in your nose? I'm like, no.
No.
And so I went to like, I got like shit stuff put in my nose for my nosebleed, and
Did you feel the rock?
No. Well,
it was
that far I could put it. But then so I went to the emergency room a couple days later. I went to the emergency room probably 3 times, and they like looked up my nose with like this tube thing. Yeah. And I never saw it. It probably fell back. I don't know what happened to that rock.
You didn't find it?
Oh no, they never got out.
It's still in your nose.
Wait, what the hell?
It's either still in my. I have a really bad sense of smell. It could be because of that. It could be still in there. Could you imagine if it's still?
What if you just go and it shoots out?
But
oh my god!
I swear to God, but like it probably like eroded or something or like went.
Was it like a big rock? Was it like a
no?
A tiny
it was.
One?
Well, it was like maybe this big. It's probably the size of my thumbnail.
Oh my gosh!
But no, actually it wasn't. It was like a little
That's
bit.
a big.
But one time,
rock
my
for
parents,
a little kid.
my parents were like, well, it was that size in relative to my thumb at the time.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it was like
just draw it, like do a circle or something.
I don't remember. It wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't a circle.
It wasn't.
So, let's get this. Christ. So one time, my parents asked me to do the exact same thing and asked me how big the rock was, and I remember this so vividly. This one memory of me drawing the lines, and I drew a little picture of the rock. This is the dumbest memory I've ever had, but I like have this memory in my brain. It's the dumbest memory, and I remember drawing a picture of the rock, and it was like kind of pointy on one end, and I remember my dad going like, "Oh, look, he's drawing a picture of it," and I remember it because I felt like a test subject, like a test monkey. I just remember that one line from my dad. He's like, "Look, he's drawing a picture of it," and I don't know why I remember that so vividly. That one line that he said. I don't remember how many times I went to the emergency room. I don't remember what happened, but
finally just gave up. They're like, well.
They're like, fuck it.
I can't get over how she asked you, or she said, your nose is bleeding.
You're like,
you
no,
said,
it's not.
No.
No, it's not.
Well,
As it's like dripping down.
No, it's not.
Well,
you
then-
deny the
then
nose.
what-
Did you shove a rock up your... No.
My best friend at the time, a couple months later, it was like, did you shove a rock up your nose that one time? And before I could say anything, my teacher was like, yeah, he did. That teacher didn't like me very much.
I have a story. When I was a little kid, I got the cops called on me.
Why?
So
Ooh, I have a funny
I used to
story.
go to this camp during the summer because my dad worked. So we'd go to this camp like all day, and there was this girl there named my same name Maddy. We were like Maddy twins. We were like best friends.
Okay.
And
I like how you're like, I'm named Maddie. What a coincidence.
And we were like the older kids, so we got to like leave earlier and like go down in the room and like whatever. So this one day we both had the bright idea. There are these rooms in this like gym where like we weren't allowed to go in.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, let's go in one of those rooms and don't come out like the whole entire time. No matter how much they're like calling our names or whatever, don't come out. So we go in this one room. There's a Wii and an Xbox like 360 in there. And we're like, what the frick? But
What are we doing in this?
It didn't work. It wasn't like plugged in. But we just like sat in that room like the whole entire time. And we could hear the like teachers or whatever out there being like, Maddie. And then finally it got silent. And we were like, oh, okay, they went back upstairs. They like forgot about us.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden we hear like so many footsteps coming down the stairs into the gym. And we're like, what the hell is that? And they're like these deep voices of like police being like, check in each room. We have to find it because they thought we went missing. Like they
didn't check the one room?
No. They were like, they thought that we went missing. And then finally the cops like opened our room and we're just sitting there. Like there's a couch in there. We're just like sitting on the couch like, hi. And they're like, we found them. And we got in so much trouble. Like we had to go upstairs and take care of like the little kids. I'm like, that's abuse. Like the little, like the like 2-year-olds.
Oh my god! What is this, like a camp? You said?
Yeah, it's just like a summer camp.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You shouldn't have gotten in trouble. They didn't check.
they
one
didn't
of the main
check
rooms.
all the rooms.
Where would they be? Did they run away? Oh, did we check the room with the Xbox and the Wii in there? No, they wouldn't want to go in there. So
No
once.
chance they would go in there. We told them not to go in there.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
they would never.
And like me and Maddie looked at each
That room is off. No, that's the no room. They would never go in there. Officer, trust me.
Even though the door isn't locked.
Yeah. That's just like all the time when I'm at my cabin, right? And there's like I'm like taking a nap somewhere, and I can just hear everybody upstairs going, "Where's Lucas?
Oh my
Where
God.
is he? Where'd he go? Did someone check the?" And it's just like I'm just downstairs, and I'm like, I could totally just go like, "Hey, I'm down here," but they didn't check downstairs, so I'm just gonna stay down here. And then people will come. I'll go upstairs like a couple hours later, and they'll be like, "Where were you?" I'm like, the second floor of the entire building. You know how you guys were all looking on one floor? I was on the second floor. You could have just walked down the stairs and seen me.
But yeah, I got in so much trouble, and my dad,
like those-
he wasn't even like mad. Like he came and like they told him like what happened, and he was like, he's like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I can't really do anything. And I was like, yes, Dad, thank you, because I thought
Exactly.
because they were freaking bitches.
Nothing is
Like
better
them.
than when your parents take your side.
Yeah, but then Maddie's parents, they like made her wrote like a letter. Or like
Oh, yeah.
like of saying like how sorry she is. I'm like, you better not make me do that. And he's like, no, it's fine. I was like, yes.
Did your parents or grandparents ever make you write something over and over again, like something you said that was wrong, and you had to write it over and over again?
No.
Yeah, it's
I was
just-
a good child. Well, not really, but like
My dad hung up something I wrote I had to write something like 50 times, and he hung it up in his office. He said,
What the heck?
I don't remember what it was. Okay, Annika, you need to tell your stories because you've had like 3 different stories that you haven't told yet.
Oh no, you're good. I have one of when we got the cops called on us. But okay, so my aunt used to have like a daycare, so there was a phone in her basement. It was like on the wall, but it was bright pink, like hot pink,
like flamingo pink.
No, it was like magenta, like hot pink.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
wait, can I guess the end of the story?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
Okay, let me guess. You thought that the phone was fake, so you called 911 on it.
Okay.
And then the police showed up.
Okay. Hold on, no.
What the hell?
Sort of, but not exactly. So it was me, my cousin, and my brother. My brother is 2 years older than me, and my cousin is 3.
I'm literally doing this. You touched my foot.
Stop it. Annika keeps
Stop
touching my
footsie.
leg. I don't like feet. Stop. Okay, go.
So yeah, my brother is 2 years older than me, and my cousin is 3 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But we were all in the basement, and I don't know what we were doing. We were just like playing and whatnot. But then my brother was like, "What's this phone? It can't be real. It's pink."
Oh,
and then our
God.
cousin was like, "No, it's real." And I was like, "It's real. Like, you can call a phone number on it." I was like, "Call mom." And he was like, "I'm gonna call 911." And he types 911, and then there was an enter, and then I bumped him or something. So he tries to claim that I made him click the enter button.
Oh, whatever.
Like, he had his finger on it, and then I bumped him, and then he pressed it, and then he just hung up right away. And then we're all playing in the basement still, like 20 minutes goes by, and then you just hear like knocking on the door, and our parents were all upstairs, like in the kitchen. We used to have like Sunday night dinners at my aunt's house, and they're all like just drinking, like eating in the kitchen upstairs.
Right.
And then they're like, "Who's at the door?" So then my aunt goes to answer it, and we heard it knock from the basement, so all of us run upstairs, and I go straight to the door to see what it is, and my brother goes in the living room, but the living room like wrapped around to the front main door too, so it was like you could see it still, and he was hiding in the living room, and then it's the cops, and then I'm like, and then I run around.
You're like, oh no.
I run around the hallway and into the living room, and I'm like, "Max, it's the cops, you called the cops." And then he's like, "No, I didn't, I swear." And
what happened?
And then my aunt was like, "Who called the cops?" And then the cops were like, "Is everything all right here?" And then we had to explain that Max pressed 911, and then I clicked enter on the phone because he just wanted to put the blame on me. And I was like, "No." And then I was like, "It was a real phone, though."
So you're telling me that I got the story exactly correct?
You basically did.
But it was my brother, not me, who did it.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
That's funny. Your brother would think that's not a real phone too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He was like,
like,
"It's not our. It's pink."
Yeah, it can't be.
They don't make
real,
pink
it's
phones. That's funny. So,
like,
what?
Oh my god.
Do you have any stories that you like did something wrong and then you didn't tell your parents, or you didn't tell your parents something?
Yeah, I have one that was like, I didn't tell my parents for the longest time, and just recently I brought it up to my mom. But it's like nothing that I did wrong, it was just something that could have been bad. But it was like, I don't know why, but I was home alone. I was probably like 10. I think it was like me and my brother. And I was up in my parents' room, and they've had the same bed frame for like years.
Correct, okay.
At the end of it, there's like a foot thing, and it's like a flat wood, like just like strip. And I wanted to stand on their bed and like fall on my back to like just feel what it was like to like fall.
Did you break
Sure.
your bed?
No, but then so I do that, and I'm like standing, and I'm like, "Oh no, it'll be good." And I like laid down on the bed to like see like my distance, if I was like good to not hit my head. And then I'm standing there, and I fall back and just slam like the back of my head into this wood, and
I would have passed out.
Whack it. And then I was like, it was just me and my brother, and I was like, "Ah," and then I just like sat there for maybe like 10 minutes, and I was like, "Okay, like it's gonna be fine." And then I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to like, I don't know, I didn't want to get yelled at for like doing something stupid and then being concussed. Because my brother has had 3 concussions. Okay. And I didn't want to be that.
You didn't want to join the concussion club?
Yeah, I didn't want to be stupid.
You know, that hit, though, explains a lot.
The what?
That hit to the back of the head for Annika explains a lot.
Rude!
But, like...
But, yeah. So that was what happened. And then I told my mom, not too long ago, probably like a few months ago, and she was like, "Why would you never tell us?" And I was like, "I don't know, I'm scared."
I want to see the video that Alex sent in the goddamn group chat, but it's not loading.
I can look.
I could care less, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, I want to see it because everyone's saving it.
Oh, well.
I can't see it.
I'm doing a podcast with my friends, so I'll wait.
Shut up, Lucas.
Fun fact, well, this isn't a fun fact, but I kind of have a similar story to you, Annika, where one time I was in my mom's bedroom, and you know how you do the thing where you, like, slide on your knees? Like you're in, like, a bat. Well, usually you might be in, like, a gym or something, like, with, like, a
slippery floor.
A slippery floor, and then you'll be wearing long pants, and you'll do it.
Yeah.
I was just in my mom's room with shorts on and with carpet, and I was sliding, and I slid, but my mom's heel was on the ground, and I just like cut my knee on the heel, and so that really hurt. And then another time I remember I was either I like fell over or was sliding or something, but my pants were like halfway off for some reason, and so the button of my pants, it was like jeans. The button of my jeans, like I fell on the button and then it rolled and then cut that other knee open.
Oh my god!
But I didn't get like good stitches or anything. It just like was like.
Oh sure.
Okay, so I used to
bad.
live in Kentucky. You guys know that, but we used to have 8 acres.
Yeah, right. We both.
And
knew that.
we would.
Yeah.
we had dirt bikes, and we would just like race them like back and forth from in our yard.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this brilliant idea. Like I had never gone like super fast because I was kind of scared. So I went super fast, and I hit like this hole. I don't even know where it came from, but it was just this hole, and I went flying in the air. I flipped over the handlebars, and the motorcycle like ran on top of me, and then like it didn't really hurt, but like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna play dead. So So I played dead. Like I did not move. I was like, I just like laid there. Picture 4-foot Maddie just like laying in the grass, and then all I hear is my mom and my dad like running out, and my mom yelling, "Maddie, are you okay?" And I'm just like playing dead. I'm gonna play dead. And then she finally like she picks me up, and I'm like, I'm okay.
Oh my god!
So I like gave my mom and dad a heart attack.
You just wanted to see what they do.
Yeah,
Like, what would they do if I died?
To see what they did. It's funny.
I have a story of like on a motorized vehicle when I was little. So you at my house, you know that little 4-wheeler that we had that doesn't turn on?
It doesn't turn on, yeah.
Right. Back when it like did run, it was my brother's, and then he got too big for it, so then I used it sometimes. One time we were all like out on we had 3 4-wheelers. We had the little one and 2 big ones, so we were all like out on them running around. My mom was in the kitchen doing dishes, and you know how we have that big window seal by like the sink? So right under it is where our it's like those basement like escape window things, you know?
Oh
Like a
yeah,
hatch?
yeah. I know it. No, I know what you're saying.
Like, so it's like
you
a
have
window.
Oh yeah, like the
You have
window
to
is like
have
the.
You have to have it like a different like. Well, for you have this like slide.
Well,
window,
yeah,
so it's,
like yeah.
Right.
I got that window over there too.
Yeah.
Right, but
Like,
it's like
a place where you can get out.
right, and
Right,
it's
right.
like 4 feet or like 4 or 5 feet like
Something.
deep with like metal box kind of, right?
Yeah, so you
Sure.
can get out.
Oh
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
And-
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I
you
know
can-
exactly what you're talking
Did you
about.
fall
Right.
in that?
Not exactly. So it was like that's right below our kitchen window, and our mom's doing dishes, and I was on the little 4-wheeler, and I don't know like what happened if I just like didn't turn, but I just ran like straight into the side of the house, like half hovering like over it, and I like tipped
Oh my
into
God.
it. And then my mom like runs outside, and then my brother stops, and he's like, "Why did you run into the house?" And I was like, "I don't know what happened." And then my parents didn't let me ride a 4-wheeler for like probably like 3 years after that. They're like, "You ran into the house."
Yeah.
Nothing
Were you wearing a helmet
happened
at
to
least?
the house. I think so.
Yeah. My parents never let me. Like one of my next door neighbors, I was kind of better friends with back when I was in like elementary school, and he had like a dirt bike or something, and my mom, I didn't have a phone obviously because I was in like 4th grade, but every time that he would want to do something, I felt like my mom wouldn't let me do it, so I'd always go home and ask my mom, or like run home and tell my mom, or ask my mom, and then she'd be like, no. And then sometimes I just wouldn't even go back to his house. Like, he'd be like, you want to go to the next door neighbor's house? And my mom was like, you're already home. Do you really need to go to some other random person's house and meet them? So my cousin had this, like, I guess it's like a moped thing.
Yeah.
And but this was like way after like I was like older, this like 3 years ago, and he was letting me drive it, and and I never told her because it didn't matter at the time, because it's like, what is she gonna do? Tell me no? I'm like 13 or whatever.
Right.
And I braked with the front wheel, and I just like flew. I just like it did the thing where it was like it did like the cartoon thing where it was like and my cousin was literally in the driveway, and I'm like, I stood up, I'm like, I'm fine. I did nothing.
So you didn't play dead like me?
Oh no, I'm not that much of a fool, but yeah, like if let's say we were all friends, but we were like, this is like 6 years ago, when we were at your house the other day, and you had the 4-wheeler out, I'd have had to call my mom and be like, they have the 4-wheeler out. Is it okay if I buy them or whatever?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, is it called like a Ranger or like a 2x4 where it's like 3 seats? It's called a Ranger, isn't it? And then there's a back part,
like a Gator, kind of.
Like a Gator.
Like a Gator.
Yeah.
So,
my grandma. I got another funny story.
I don't know. It's like a Gator.
Yeah.
So, I'm at. Can I say first names, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm at McKenna's cabin, but then it's like me and Ariana, like 2 friends she could bring.
So far, we haven't had to bleep anything the entire episode. We should try to go the entire episode without having to have to censor anything.
Yeah.
But so we're at Kenna's cabin, and she has like this land kind of away from her cabin, but we can go on it, and we like drive the Gator on it. And so we were like, Ariana, you should drive the Gator, because she had never driven it before, and we were like, we can like teach you. It'll be fun. It'll be cool. So she's like, okay, and she was like really nervous. She was like, didn't want to do it, but we were kind of like, no, you're doing it. So we're at one point, there's like this hill, and at the end it's like a T, so you kind of have to slow down and like turn. Well, we're going down the hill, and I'm like, okay, slow down, because there's like, you have to turn, so you can't take that turn very fast. And I don't know what went through her brain. Usually people would be like, okay, I'll slow down.
Right.
No, she panicked or something, let go of everything. She goes, I can't do this. And we go full speed down the hill, like past, and we hit this like tree, and that's what stopped us from going into like the river or like the stream.
My god.
And so Ariana's fine, because she was at like the driver, so like she hit like the steering wheel, but like nothing happened. Me and Kenna go, I'm in the middle. I go flying out the Gator. Like I'm like out of the Gator like this. I hit my shins.
You didn't have the one with like the windshield?
No, like they took the windshield off. So like I'm on the hood of the Gator basically. And then Kenna, she hit like the like bar that's like you know, she like hit that with her shoulder, so she like stayed in from that. And so me and Kenna, I'm like, I think I blacked out or something, but I was like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? And I look at Ariana first, because I'm like, oh my god, what if she like fucking went flying out? And she's just crying. And I look at Kenna, and Kenna's like, oh, my shoulder. So I
like how you flew out the windshield of a vehicle, and Ariana's like, oh no, I crashed the Gator. I'm the worst driver ever.
She's like crying. So then we all 3 get out, and we're trying to push we're like, what, 12?
We're trying to push
We're like 13, or like, this is like 4 years ago or something, or like, I don't know. So we're all trying to push the Gator like out, because we did not want to call her dad, because we thought we were gonna get yelled at, but we could not get it out, because it hit the tree, but then there was dirt, and so like she like kept going, like, so she hit the tree and she kept like the gas going or something. So then it dug into like the dirt. So we could not get out, and we were like, we're just gonna have to call your dad, Kenna. And so we call him, and he's like, okay, where are you guys? He wasn't mad, because like it didn't do any damage. It was just like we could have gotten hurt. So he comes, and he like tries to get it out, and he couldn't. So then we had to call Kenna's brother, and finally they could get it out. And I'm like, Ariana, you're never driving that gator again. You're like, you literally can't. So yeah, that's like the time me and Ken almost went flying into the river.
My grandma
or stream, whatever.
I have a similar story.
Yeah, my grandma has these paths in her in the woods around her house. So she has a gator, and we used to, there would be like this thing where my grandpa had this tractor, and he had this trailer that he'd pull all the grandkids in, and there's like, that's like all like the meme, like, oh, let's go on a tractor ride. But then when we got older, then he got the gator, so then we'd all go on the gator ride. And
sure.
so he just let us all have turns driving it sometimes. And there's one time where I was driving it, and there's like this hill kind of in my grandma's house that was like from the backyard to kind of the front yard, and my sister was standing in the hill, and I was like driving right towards her, and then it took me like a split second to figure out where the brake was, and then whenever like that was such like a nothing moment at the time. Everybody's like, oh okay, it was such a nothing moment. But anytime my sister would be like, remember that time you almost ran me over with the gator? I'm like, no, I know what you're talking about. I don't think I was near. And then she'll be like, well, I think she'll always do that every single time. She'll be like, well, actually, I think we remember the story differently. And I'm like, no, you're wrong.
My sister does that about a story. I could tell it after Annika, but she does that same thing about a story, and it's.
I'm like, I mean, I guess I remember that, and like she'll be like, well, yeah. And then she'll be like, remember that time that you guys just, you guys like forgot about me and you left me in a car? Because there's this one time when we came home from going out to eat, and we used to have like a Toyota Sierra, like the minivan, and the doors were kind of tricky to open because there were like these buttons you have to push in, and it would like be pretty hard. And for the early couple of years, my mom and dad used to have to always open the door for us, but then I figured it out. But then there'd be sometimes where I'd try to tell my sister how to open the door, and then she never would bother figuring it out. She'd be like, no, my mom will always open the door. And so there was one time where we literally all got out of the car, and then we didn't, like, I left the door open or whatever, or I closed the door or something, and then she was like trapped in there for like maybe 5 minutes. We're like, where is, like, oh, she's in the car, and she's like, what, you guys forgot about me? It's like, no, it's just that you didn't know how to open the door of the car. And so she'll always tell that story. She'll be like, remember when you guys abandoned me in the garage? You left me out to die? And then we'll be like, no, we don't remember that. My parents won't remember that. But I do. I remember her freaking out about it.
My dad left me at Home Depot. Like, he literally
no way.
No. Like, we went in there, and I don't know what happened. Like, I, like, lost him, but he was, like, going to the we were going to the cash register, but I, like, lost him because I was, like, I, like, looked at something. And then I, like, could not find him. And he wasn't paying attention because he had my sister with him. So he's like, oh, okay, like, if my sister's here, then Maddie's going to be here, too. Mm-hmm. Well, that was not the case. I remember my dad left Home Depot, was in his car, but I knew his number, but I didn't have a phone. So, like, I went up to, like, the front register person, and I was like, I don't know where my dad is. Can I, like, have your phone? So then I typed in the number, and I was like, Dad, where are you? And he was like, oh. And then he just, like, hung up. And then I just remember him, like, walking back in and then grabbing me. And then he yelled at me. He was like, why don't you stay by me? Why did you leave my side? And I was like,
it's your fault.
I was like, I couldn't do it. I don't know, yeah.
One time I got lost in Disneyland. It was
I remember. No.
It was just a huge, like, crowd. And then my parents just walked away from me. And then I walked up to a group, a blonde lady and a black-haired guy. And I, like, looked up at them thinking it was my parents.
Oh, my God.
And then they looked at me and they were like, And then I was like, oh. And then I just stood there and I was like,
That's
you were like
and my mom came running back and she was like, Annika.
That's like the biggest fear of anybody, like, being lost. Losing their kid, especially, or losing your parents at Disney. At, like, a place like that.
Park.
Oh, like, that was an episode of Modern Family, I think, where that Lily gets lost in Disney World. Or she got lost somewhere. That's like the first couple seasons is always like, oh no, we're the worst parents ever. But that reminds me, what do you guys hear about Disney World and Disneyland reopening?
Yeah.
What are your guys' opinions on that?
I don't think it's a good idea. And it seems kind of creepy. Like,
yeah,
how they all have those masks.
Yeah, the commercial. It's just like, it's such a weird thing.
Welcome
like,
home.
Someone was like, Disney will never recover from this. It's like, Disney will never recover. I think Disney's fine, bro. They really.
They'll be okay.
Someone made an image of like it was like the top grossing movies of 2019, and like of the top 8, like 6 of them were Disney.
Yeah.
And so they're like, I think they're fine. There was
like,
a Star Wars
kinda
movie, a
weird that
Frozen
they're-
movie, and a Avengers Endgame came out last year. I think they're
Wait,
good enough just on
So
that.
they're like open, like completely, like.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you have to wear a
Oh
mask.
no, there's like the bullshit, whatever. But
The workers are wearing masks.
yeah. You have to wear a mask in Walmart now.
Yeah, starting Monday.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm actually down for.
Look, Menards does that too, and like.
Yeah.
I don't like it just because I
Costco,
never have them. Like I
Yeah.
never have a mask.
Yeah,
And
I'm
like,
gonna. You know how girls like it was like Pinterest, like, oh, you put scrunchies on your like thing.
Oh.
Now it's gonna have to be masks.
on
people
your
do that.
car.
People do that shit all the time. Like
Yeah.
DIY
It used to
masks.
be,
Like
scrunchies. And
I saw this one lady do a mask, and she's like, "This is a new, easy to breathe in mask," and it was like a fucking
And they're like,
screen.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you're so dumb. But anyways, I was talking about this because the restaurant that I work at opened up this week, and so what that means is, there's only supposed to be 15 people in the entire. Wait, how much time are we at? Oh, fuck, 15 minutes. Okay, we got time to tell these couple stories.
I still have the one about the car, or not the car, but when she was talking about the
car?
theater.
Oh
No,
shit.
I have a similar story, but you can keep going. Sorry.
Okay, so basically what you have to do is if you want to come in, which drive-through is open, food's the same. You could choose to
Do that instead.
go through the drive-through in like maybe 5 minutes, bring the food down, eat in your house where it's clean or whatever, or you could choose to go in and sign in to eat at a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and then talk to people at the register, and then they will grab you your cup and everything for you. They will give you, you have to ask them for sauce. You can't grab any sauce yourself. You can't grab a refill of your pop yourself. The customers have to do it, or the employees have to do it. You can sit at like limited tables, only 4 people per table, by the way. And you could choose to sit in there where anybody with coronavirus could have sat and eaten at the same table as you in a closed building. You could choose to do that, or you could choose to just go through the drive-through and it'll take like 5 minutes. Some people are in the position where they would like to eat inside the restaurant, and I have my philosophy on it is if you're going to be in the position where you think it's a good idea to go into the restaurant to eat, you're also one of those people that don't want to wear a mask or do any of the laws. So that's kind of the dumb reality of it. There's and there's so few people that come in, but it's just like half the job is now like cleaning the restaurant when it's like you are probably losing money with how much extra work that you have to pay us to do than how much money you're making from people coming in rather than just coming through the drive-through, because the drive-through is still packed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so what you have to do, because there's a government law where you have to sign write your name and put your phone number, so that if someone had the virus and they come in, we can notify you about that.
If there's an outbreak or like
Right. Or if that person has the virus, then they're in the registry of coming into the restaurant so that we know that they had it.
And then you can alert other people like,
Right.
hey.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's just complicated. There's nothing wrong with the drive-through right now. Just wait a couple months. Someone came in yesterday when I was not there. Luckily, I wasn't there. Otherwise, I would have gone ballistic. They came in and they were like, the lady, lovely lady working at the restaurant.
Who?
You don't know her. She goes to a different city. She was like, she's pretty nice. What I'm saying. She was like, "Hi, are you dining in with us today?" And then the lady was like, "Yeah, I'm dining in." She's like, "Oh, then we're gonna have to ask you to sign your name and your phone number down." Like, and the lady's like, "I'm not gonna do that." And she's like, "Oh, well, sorry. That's kind of like, what's what you have to tell you to do? Like, that's what the governor said." He's like, "Well, you guys are just gonna use that to track me. I'm not gonna do that." She's like, "I'm just gonna write a fake name and a fake number. Like, what do you can't do anything to stop me." That's where I would have been like, "Okay, then you can go through the drive-through, same food, nothing different. Don't have to ask you for your thing. No risk of getting the virus. You can just go through the drive-through." And so then she she's getting her food. She wrote down her name as Tim Walz, who's the governor of, obviously, the governor probably wouldn't be coming to this restaurant in this city at this time. And his phone number probably isn't 666-666.
Wow.
So then she says, this government is turning like communist
That's
or whatever.
Like a Karen.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, this government is all communist. You guys are all just wearing those masks because you guys are just like sick or something like that. And I would have been like, ugh. It's just this stupid, like, it's funny to me how people think like, we got their name and phone number. We got all their credit card information now, boys. Like, I can get your phone number on fucking white pages. Phone books have existed for decades. Like, what do you think? Me having your phone number, what we're gonna do? Call you and say, "Oh, sorry. Now you have to get tested because you went to a fucking restaurant during the pandemic, dumbass." Oh, it's just so stupid. Like, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's just so dumb." If they're, well, like I said, they're lucky I wasn't there because I would have just clowned the shit out of that lady.
I had an experience like that at Walmart. I went there like the other day, and like, you're not supposed to wear a mask now, but like, people are just like doing it.
Or you weren't told to wear a mask,
Yeah,
but
you
people
don't
will do it
have
anyway.
to.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
you don't have to, except for like on Monday, but like, so then I was not wearing a mask because I was just going in there for like chips or something. I don't even know. But I'm checking out, and then I see one of my friends. So we start talking like kind of in the middle of the aisle, not in the middle, but kind of like on the side. And then this like old Karen, I'll just call her Karen.
Okay.
She goes, "Excuse me."
You're gonna throw the K word out there like that?
Yes. She goes, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "What?" And I thought she like wanted to like talk or something, because like usually people are like, "Excuse me," they're like, they want to talk.
Like, yeah.
And then she goes, and I look at her, and I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You need to move," and I'm like, move like out of the, like, we weren't even in the middle of the aisle. We were like on the side of it. So then I just like stepped, and she's like, "You need to be wearing a mask." But she was wearing a mask. Like, so it was like,
right.
It didn't even make any sense. And I was just like, okay. But yeah, that's just like,
it's fine when she's like, "You guys should really be wearing masks," but she's like, "Yeah, you need to be wearing a mask."
No, she was like, "You need to be wearing a mask."
Right.
And I'm like, she's like, "I have a son at home that's at risk." I'm like, "But you're wearing a mask."
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I should be wearing a mask, but it's like, case, I don't need to. But like,
her logic is though, like, she's trying to guilt trip you into wearing a mask.
Yeah.
She's not trying to say why.
I mean, I'll start wearing one now because like they require it, but like I wasn't going to, because if I was just going in and coming out.
Yeah. My the only people that I've seen come into the restaurant with a mask are like these two kids that are like, they couldn't even pronounce the word burger. And they were wearing masks, and all these adults weren't. But then one time I said shit when someone was in there, and then someone was like, "You can't swear, there's people in the restaurant now." It's like, okay, if they're gonna come in here, and then they'll come into the restaurant, and if they confront me about that, it's like, you're gonna come in here and risk getting the coronavirus, but you're concerned that your kid is gonna hear the word shit from an employee.
And also, like, if they're hearing you say that, like, they're too close.
Exactly.
Like, the way your restaurant is laid out, like, the kitchen in, like, that area is so far away from any of the seating.
Right. Well, I was in the drive-thru area, but still.
It's pretty far
really far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell your gator story?
Yeah, tell your gator story.
Okay, it's not a gator. It was a golf cart.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know who allowed us to drive it. It was my 15-year-old cousin. It was my two 15-year-old cousins, so no one had a license. Mm-hmm. And one of them's Canadian, so she didn't even have a permit, and the other one did. And then I'm like, what is that, 13? Yeah, I'm like 13 at this time.
I don't know when it was.
Well, no, like, I'm like 2 years younger than them.
Yeah, then like 13 or something.
So I was like 13, and then, so I've had experience like driving like my grandma's car like down her driveway before, so like I know how like the gas pedals and the wheels work and whatnot. Neither of them have ever driven anything.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a
I don't
golf
know.
cart.
I don't know who allowed us to like have this golf cart.
Mm-hmm.
But then my uncle and our other like 20-year-old cousin were like in front of us in a golf cart, but they were like really far.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were trying to like follow them, so they were going like full speed. And then it was like a road, and then it was like like a middle piece of like sidewalk, and then a road that like it was like car roads.
Sure, yeah.
And then so we had to like pass all those, and then right after it was like a sharp like 90-degree turn.
Okay.
And they were going full speed like pedal to the metal like across these roads, and then didn't slow down for this like 90-degree turn.
Right. Okay.
And then just like
It's like
whip it and didn't make it because it's a golf cart, and just go full speed into a tree. And I
like
see it coming. Like my cousin is driving, and then it's my other cousin in the center, and then I'm on the side, and I see like I'm like we're gonna hit this tree. So I grabbed like the top of the golf cart and like started just like I grabbed it and then like jumped out of the golf cart and just started like running.
Okay.
And then because my other cousin was in the middle, she hit her head on the windshield of the golf cart and like smacked it. And then the windshield popped off, and then the things that hold your golf clubs in the back both fell off.
Okay.
And they like flew off.
Yeah, like those little like the little...
I know the like okay, wait, I know
like
what
your
you're talking about.
clubs.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about, but
They're
that just
like
like
bags.
spat. That was like, wait, what?
They both just like flew off on like this impact of this tree.
Holy crap.
Did the golf cart get dented in any way?
But it was just like the windshield just like popped off.
And
then we were all like, and then so they were just both like sitting there, and I was like, we gotta fix this. Like, so I had to put the windshield back on, and then
did it just pop back in?
Yeah, well, like it was like you had to like clip it back in. It was weird.
Oh,
okay.
But then I like tried to get the golf club things back on too, and then then they're like, oh my god, we gotta take it back, like, and then they're like, we think Bianca's concussed, like, she's like, she might die, and like, they were so scared, and Bianca was sitting there, and she was like, oh my god, my head, because she literally popped off the windshield with her head when she hit it, like, that was why it popped off.
It's like us when we tried doing that backflip, we like went into that tube, oh my god.
Right?
Oh, that's like Marcus one. Oh.
What?
Nah.
That's a different story.
That's a different story.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Where?
He went.
Oh no, she didn't know about that.
With who?
With
who?
right.
I don't know if we should tell it or not.
The golf ball.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Never mind. Oh,
okay.
I thought you meant like in a pool. Like
Okay.
she was in a pool.
Looks like we got time for one more story
But yeah. So then
after you're done with this one.
Yeah, so we had to just we were driving it back, and then they didn't want to bring it back because the golf cart, like the windshield wasn't fully on.
Okay,
and
well,
the
what are you
things
gonna
for the
tell
golf
your
clubs were
family
back.
when you don't come back with a golf cart that you
Right,
took away?
so they didn't want to bring it back, and this is the only time they let me drive this whole time. They're like, Annika, take it back, park it, and then leave. And then I was like, why do I have to park it and leave? Like, what if they yell at me?
You're the better driver.
Like, it's
You're 2 years younger, but you're the better driver.
No, but I was like, what if they yell at me because it's broken and they say it's my fault and I have to fix it?
Just say
Because it was
no.
them.
Be like,
and I was like,
no.
I swear I haven't driven it this whole time. And then so they were like, okay, we're gonna like get dropped off right here. You take it and we're gonna run. So then they both ran and I had to drop off the golf cart. No, it was like these two golf cart guys and they were just standing there and they're like, and then I just ran. I was like 13.
Oh my god.
And then
so you were like,
yeah.
You're like, oh my god, you're like pooping yourself while you're going.
I was like, and I had to park it too, and I was like,
You're like, I don't know how to park, but here you go, and then you just
I don't know how to
took
park
off.
next to other golf carts. It was
wow.
a scary experience for me, but I just think it's so funny how I just like.
That would be funny if like the second you're like, hey guys, brought back your golf cart for you. You like at the second that you stopped it, the whole thing just falls apart. And then you throw the keys on the seat and then it just fucking like collapses.
Just goes down. The wheels like fall off.
Yeah, you like lean on it, the whole fucking thing breaks.
It just tips over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. All right. Well, looks like we can't tell the one story that I was gonna tell.
Why?
What?
We should.
We're out of time.
No. You
No,
have to tell
we're out of time.
that
No,
one?
yeah, no.
Oh no, I
No.
want to hear that one.
I don't want to tell the story. It's the worst story of all time.
No. Wait, I want to know it. What happened? I feel like you've told me before.
Okay, I'm
Just
gonna.
do a brief.
I might tell just for clickbait reasons. Okay. I can.
it involves like
No,
Carl
just
or something,
no.
or like
Not well. That's a different story. This is a story. Oh god. This is
I there.
You might have been there. I don't remember.
Were you the first or second trip?
I was on the second trip. This is not.
Shame.
This is not the drama in the first trip. Trust me. This is
What was the drama on the first trip?
a bunch of people got kicked out.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
That's a different day with other people.
So oh god, this is legitimately the cringiest. Like every time I think about this story, I just wanna.
All right, well tell it. Come on.
Okay, so I'm clickbaiting it as Lucas's cringiest moments.
Oh my god.
So we're. Fuck no. No.
Lucas. I only so. But now you like.
No.
Lucas, that's your fault.
I fucked it. We made it an hour and 5 minutes in, and nobody had said anything, and then I fuck it up.
Wait, why is that such a big deal? Like, it's just
Because it's kind of near where we kind of live.
Well,
not really.
No, it's a couple hours, but I mean...
there's only a select few schools that go there. We'll just do it to
that
be
is
safe.
true.
So
Okay.
I have
Just
stupid
say.
roommates.
So we went. There's this field trip that we go to where it's like a sleepaway
In
in
8th grade.
eighth grade, and you sleep there for 2 nights.
But you 3 days. It's like
3 days. You go
2
there,
nights.
and then you spend
Yeah.
And so it's pretty fun. I had a blast there. When a lot of people didn't like it. There are some people that didn't even want to go because they suck. But basically, in elementary school, I went on a field trip that was literally the exact same. Like everything was the exact same. All the things were the same. It's just a different place. But I was with people that I was actually friends with, unlike in elementary school. Well, actually, I was friends with everybody, but they're like my room was every guy in 5th and 6th grade, which was like 6 people total. So basically you're kind of, and when you're in a class that small, you're kind of forced to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. That's a different story. Basically, this thing at both these trips is that you do this thing where you go on a walk through the woods, and they do this thing where they like try to like blow your mind, where you get these like peppermints and you chew them, and they look like they're sparking in your mouth.
You have told me this.
No, just don't.
Please
Don't spoil the story.
No, but I'm just saying. I think
Don't spoil the story.
You didn't do that.
I didn't do that.
You didn't take the mints and bite it. And
But basically,
No.
basically, that's the whole purpose of the thing. But since I did it at the first trip, I was just being like, "Watch, it's gonna spark," and everybody's like, "Oh, is it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, watch." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Basically, I was with my friend Gunnar at this time.
Oh.
Is
And
this the one I was talking about earlier?
no, just
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
that. It's how many other people named Gunnar do you know?
I know one other person.
Basically,
Really?
Yeah.
basically, we were doing this thing where you'd run ahead of the group and you'd go into the woods, and then when they come out, you pop out and then be like and then
That was
try to
you?
scare people. No, well, people were just
We
doing
got
that.
scared too.
But there was a different group. There was an entire different group that was behind us that hid in the woods and jumped out. Basically, what I was trying to say. But what me and my friends were doing was we just run up ahead of the group and jump out. Just me jumping out at my friends.
Oh, okay.
So one time, I'm gonna kill myself.
I have a feeling I know where this
No.
story is going.
So I don't like gas or spoil the story.
No.
Just
So I go up to Gunnar, and I go. I grab his like I'm like and then I grab his face and I'm like I'm gonna kill you or something like that, and Gunnar turns around, and it's Jade. It's not Gunnar, who's someone who I've never talked to before, really popular girl in our school, and I'm like she turns around, she's like what the fuck, and then I'm just like no, I'm like no. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, you better be sorry. And I'm like, oh.
Wait, so you grabbed her? She was like,
I grabbed her nose and her mouth. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. And then she was just like, she's like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, no, I look like some weirdo. And then all my friends.
She probably still remembers that. I'm just
no, and then all of her friends were clowning on me though. She's like, "What did you like grab her?" I'm like, "No, well, yeah, but I didn't grab her. Like I grabbed her face." And I'm like, "Oh no, oh no."
I remember that. I was there. I was on that night walk.
Oh, that might have been the worst moment of my entire
Didn't you
life.
used to kind of be friends with them or no?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
I
you were
was
probably in that group.
I was.
then.
I don't know if I was in like I don't remember it happening, but I remember hearing about it after the walk.
Ah, no, no.
But like I don't like you would. Like, you telling the story, it brought me back. Like, I just don't remember it, like, right off my head.
Oh.
Yeah, remember when, Lucas scared that, like, grabbed that girl's face and was like, I'm gonna kill you?
That might have been that word. I just hate that. Like, after that, I'm like, I was just talking to Nick, and I was just like, I want to die. There's nothing, I literally, I wished, like, a fucking meteor would hit the camp at that night. Let's just say, though, that was the second worst grabbing story at a night walk on that weekend.
What was the other one?
Just remember it's open for interpretation.
I remember the song from that camp. It was like "Rise and Shine." It's Thursday and then they say like the name of the place. Yeah. But I just remember like in the morning. That's how they would wait. They would literally come in your room. Like, what if you're like naked or something? Like, what if you're like naked, like getting dressed?
Bruh.
They literally would just open the door and they'd just be like, "Rise and Shine." It'd be like four teachers.
Never did that for us.
Really?
No.
You know whose mom it was? Like one of the teachers.
Mark.
Oh. Yeah,
it was Mark's mom, and I just always remember that. And I want to like one day like say that to her, be like, "Do you remember when you like?"
Probably be like, "Yeah, I remember that."
You just said it. Oh.
Damn it!
But she said it kind of really quiet. Fast, she said it quietly, so like I don't know.
You can listen to it.
But yeah, I just remember like "Rise and Shine." It's Thursday and then they say the place, but like it was Mark's mom, so like I just remember it. And then also it was
Okay, I'll bleep that out too.
Yeah,
because
I think it was quiet.
Wow.
Dude, she
Okay, stop talking about him. Point is, fun trip.
Point is,
cringy moment.
Lucas scared the crap out of this girl, and she probably still remembers it, and Lucas is scarred for life.
She was yeah.
She was one of the most popular girls, too.
Oh, no, yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yes, it was like her group of friends. Like, it
was her group of friends, all of them were there.
Yeah.
She's like, "Did you kiss her?" I'm like, "No, I didn't even, I've it was the worst. It sucked.
You should have. You should have been like,
What if I just, my dad has one of the exact same stories, because I told him this story, they were like, that sucked. One time, my mom and her friend were shopping at this store, and my dad was like, "Oh, go look at the books," or something like that. And he saw my mom and her friends, and then jumped out and was like, "Rah!" And I was like, two random girls, and they just look at this guy, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh my god." But luckily for my dad, it wasn't the most popular girl, one of the most popular girls at his school that he would be going to for the next 4 years.
I was gonna
funny.
say, do you have to bleep out her name?
Not her. I didn't say her full name. I just said her first name.
She
Yeah.
just said,
Okay. I don't know.
but like people who watch it are gonna know.
Oh, for sure.
Like who are in like.
Yeah.
But, like,
one of the 3 people that is listening 1 hour and 11 minutes into the 41st episode of the podcast. But whatever. Ugh, dude,
I'm glad you told that story because
That
right
is
when you started
hilarious.
right when you said the mint thing, I was like, oh my god, I remember this.
Yeah. My, that's one of the stories I've been
don't
saving
remember that.
for one of the later ones.
Was
That
it like a
is
lifesaver
so-
mint or what?
Yeah.
It was like
like
the
one of the white
mints,
ones.
the white
weird.
like the like if you we
don't
should
remember
do
that.
it one day.
We could do it in my
Get-
woods right now, but we don't have any
Logan's
lifesavers.
mints. He has
True,
a ton of his,
he has
in
a
his
ton
car.
in his truck.
Yeah.
But like
We could do that,
if you like bite it, it's like a light like.
Well, there's like a certain thing you gotta do. You gotta like close your eyes or something like that. There's like some
No,
like
I think you just bite it.
there's like I thought there was some magic
I think
bullshit.
it's like it's like the dark. It's like because and then like,
It's just like dark or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think you have to close your eyes. Why
Oh.
would that? Why would that?
I don't know what I'm thinking of.
What are you looking?
You
What?
see this thing on my hand?
Yeah.
One time I was in
That's
our
scarf.
basement has like carpet like this, and there was a tack.
No!
Ew.
And I put my hand on the ground and moved it like sideways, and my hand just like sliced, and it's been like that for like 3 or 4 years now.
That's like one of my
And
biggest fears.
It was just
okay, no, it's not a
bleeding.
big fear, but like every time someone says like, "Oh yeah, this like tack went into my hand," I just think it's like, you know in the
One time I
movie.
stepped
You know
on
what
a
movie you
nail.
should watch?
You know
The
movie-
Passion of the Christ.
Can I say movies? Can I? Okay. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
want to
you
be
can
like
say
you
movie.
and be like, oh, blah blah blah. You know that you did.
What?
Okay, you know in Home Alone when
Yeah.
he's going down the stairs.
Oh, and he steps on the nail?
That
I
gets
stepped on a
me
nail one time.
every time. I have to look away, and then you can like hear it going into his
He's
foot,
like,
and it's like, yeah. And then he's like, he
That
falls down the stairs.
That movie's just so like iconic. We would watch that movie every day. We would switch between Home Alone 1 and 2, and then they made 3 more that just sucked
Is that
complete
Praying
ass.
Mantis? Oh, never mind. No, sorry.
I stepped on a nail maybe like 5 years ago, and then my dad asks me, "Do you have your tetanus shot?" And then I was like, "How would I know that? You should know."
Yeah.
I was once trying to get up on my trampoline, and I don't know like if there was just like a sharp part or something, but like I hit my toe, like my big toe on it, and it like sliced my big toe like in half, so like it was like dangling off.
Ew.
But I just remember like I didn't really feel it. Like I felt like a sharp pain, but I remember looking down at it and just seeing like my toe just like dead, and I was like, and I screamed. I don't know if there's still a scar. I'm gonna see.
You guys want to see a picture of my grandma?
It's
What-
not.
what?
It was like on like the crease, you know, when there's like
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like on like when your knuckles like have those
Ugh.
wrinkles. It was like on that, so like you can't like see it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
My grandma was riding a horse like 2 days ago
Ugh.
and got clotheslined by a tree.
Ugh.
That is funny.
Dude, I got clotheslined by a tree maybe 3 hours ago.
Wait, what?
Okay, you tell your story.
No, but she was like on the back of a horse and then just like
Oh, and she felt that.
she was
okay,
running
I'm
on the
sorry,
back of a
but, like,
horse and just got clotheslined
That's-
by a tree and
Okay.
broke her nose and cut her lip.
Okay,
sliced
that's not
her
funny,
lip.
but just like picturing like get it, and then but
yeah,
then like
it's like a cartoony moment, but when
Yeah,
it's your
yeah.
grandma, maybe not.
But when it's not funny. But
Me, it was funny because me and
I don't know where the other
Henry-
picture is, but this is her in the hospital.
oh, well, that's sad. I thought it was gonna be like, you want to see a picture of my grandma in the fucking hospital? Oh, how funny, Annika.
It was so bad. It was so.
Anyways,
What happened
bad.
with
I'm
you and
sorry.
Henry?
me and Henry do this thing where he'll come in my room, and I'll be like, get the fuck out of my room. Well, I won't say. Well, yeah, I will, but he'll be like annoying me or whatever, and I'll like go like, ugh, and then I'll like grab him I'll like hold him like a baby, and then I'll like walk across the hall and like throw him onto mom's bed, or sometimes he'll be like downstairs, I'll throw him onto the couch or whatever. Well, today I was feeling like extra mad at him or whatever, so I grabbed him and I somehow carried him all the way to like the end of my backyard, and I like was like, where am I gonna put him? Am I gonna put him in like the woods? But I just put him down because I was like really tired, so I just put him down. And I'm like, what do I do now? I think I should just try to run all the way back to the yard faster than him and just close the door on him so he's like stuck outside or something like that. So I'm running, and there's like this tree branch that's like slightly too low, and I hit I don't remember what.
Oh my
It's
god,
like-
I see it. I was
I saw
wondering
that
what
earlier
that
and I
was.
was
Yeah, there's like I hit the tree.
Well,
And
it's like bleeding right there.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
It's red.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
yeah,
I was gonna ask you like, what does that cut
yeah.
on your head?
You don't want to ask someone what that is because sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, I just have acne.
Well, I know,
Oh, yeah.
but like it didn't look.
Oh no, no. Okay, this is the last story of the podcast. That you just
What?
reminded me. This is another embarrassing my dad story. One time, my dad was talking to this lady. I don't remember what his relationship. I think it was like something with work. He was with her, or whatever, and she was wearing like a tank top or whatever. And there was like this summer where these gnats were just out of control. They would like bite you so
Yeah.
much, and they'd like I don't know what the deal was with the summer of the gnats or whatever. But she was talking about these gnats. She had to like get this new thing, get this new spray. And her back was just fucked. Like her back was like, she's like, oh. So my dad was like talking to her, and then she was like, oh yeah, the gnats have been relentless lately or whatever. And then she like walked in front of him or whatever, and then he was like, oh yeah, those gnats really got your back. She's like, oh no, those wasn't the gnats. That's just my back knee. And my dad is just like,
oh my god.
My dad just like, It was like so embarrassing. But she really set him up for that one. She really kind of fucked him
did.
over on that one.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But then again, think about she would know that because it's not like her fault. She was just like, oh yeah, the gnats have been bad lately, and my dad just like, oh yeah,
Oh,
look at your
yeah.
back. Oh.
Oh, that actually
No,
sucks.
I've always had this bump on like my eye. And
Yeah.
the other day, my cousin asked me about it, and she goes, "What is that? That doesn't look good." And then I was like, "I don't know. I was born with it."
It's so like awkward when they're like, or it's like your family member, and they're like, "What is on your face?" And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes my parents will be like, "What is that giant bump on your face? Like, do you have like cancer or something like that?" And it's just like acne or something like that. It's literally just a giant zit.
My cousin said that back when like me and Kira were really little, and she was like 14 or whatever, going through like puberty and whatnot. We'd always ask her like, "Why is your face so red and bumpy?"
Oh my god.
But, like, we were little, so like we didn't know. I don't even remember saying that, but she's like, it made me feel so self-conscious.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sorry.
But you didn't know because you're just like a little kid.
Yeah. All right. Good podcast. We just basically talked about the childhood the entire time.
A lot of
literally
stories.
like childhood memories.
Yeah. Bad childhood memories. And then we had the one story of me just getting absolutely fucked.
That's
so
such
funny.
a funny story.
Well, I'm glad I told it to you guys and the 3 people that listened to it.
Thank you.
That's probably one of the best stories.
That is a great story.
Especially it like I know the girl too, and like I'm not gonna say it, but like
yeah, she probably would have been like,
if you did it now,
right,
she would have punched. She'd literally like ruin your life.
Oh,
I don't
for
think
sure.
so.
Because it's because.
Yes.
I don't know.
And it's because like now like nobody really knew me in 8th grade, but like she knows me now because
of what happened.
Well, not because of that. She didn't. I don't think she knew my name even after that. She just. But like now, like I don't know. I'm just more like people know who like she knows who I am
Now
from like
I'm,
other
like,
things.
ask her like, do you remember that?
Yeah, I really like that story, and there's one other story that I'm saving for one of these girls I'm actually friends with. I don't want to kind of tell you what happens, but there's a girl who I'm friends with that a really embarrassing thing happened, and I'm just waiting for like her to come on. And so I can tell the story. That's my number one story from the beginning of the podcast. Everybody's like, are you gonna tell that story? I'm like, oh, once she comes on, I'll tell that story. So I'm still waiting for that. I'm not gonna say who it is, but in that very specific instance, if I ever get her to come on, that story will come out.
Wait, I want to hear the story.
Oh well, you'll have to wait for that episode to come out. I'll tell you who the person is after the episode's over.
Okay.
I might tell you the story because I haven't told that story in a while.
Okay.
All right, end the podcast. Maddie, say something funny.
Dude, you can't do that.
Sure, I can.
No, you can't.
Why not?
That bug is actually really big.
That is pretty big.
I thought it was like a praying mantis at first, but I was like, I'm fucking stupid.
You know the praying mantis that gets stuck
I
to
got
the.
something funny. Are you ready?
What?
Coming in hot.
Mark would know that. We need to tell that. You need to tell that. Were you there?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've heard the story.
Oh my god. If you were
That
there,
was
you would have
so-
actually
you
pissed
would've-
yourself.
You would have been on the floor rolling.
Oh.
I want to tell that story now.
Not too late. You waited till the end to think
Why
about
don't
it.
we
Okay,
just
you know what?
We go 2
no,
hours.
No. Next time Mark is on,
Yeah,
he's gonna tell it. Or like
Okay.
someone that was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one. That one's funny.
Okay. Say something funny, Annika. Say something.
Lucas,
Say like.
you say fucking something funny.
No, like I need something like I never end episodes. Say like a word or something
Well,
like that.
this can be your first time.
Say a funny word. Say like the first funny word that comes to your mind.
I can't.
I don't know. I just thought of funky.
I just thought of moist.
No, I thought you were gonna say like spaghetti or something like that.
Oh. I don't know. Freaking snowman.